live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, great win, right? On the road, took a loss, right? No Luka, no LeBron. Austin Reeves played heavy minutes, all of that. You come in, right, against Philadelphia, who's been good this year, and you handled business, right? Little rocky in the first half, but third quarter, made the halftime adjustments, came out, did what you were supposed to do. LeBron was spectacular, particularly in that third quarter. He outscored him like at one point, like 12-5 or something like that by himself. Again, just keep rattling off these wins. I really liked a couple things. I really liked the action, which is credit to JJ Redick that he kept putting like Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves in, how they had all three of those guys kind of playing off of each other and, in constant action to one another, which I really liked. Again, you gotta find ways to keep all three active and engaged, right? So, all three guys, again, if you're talking about a big three, all three need to be able to be involved, and you also need to be able to keep other guys involved. And I thought the Lakers did a really good job of doing that, right? Rui Hachimura had 17. He got 12 field goal attempts. DeAndre Ayton, he only got 7, but he was 7-7, 14 points, 12 rebounds. You kept putting them in action. I thought they kind of forced things a couple times there, but for the most part, kept them in action. We got a Jared Vanderbilt sighting, which was amazing, right? Dude, I had to do a double take. And because I was like, wait a minute, is that really Vando? I mean, he only played 3 minutes, but it's a start, right? So I'll take that. But, you saw Austin Reeves got 16 attempts. LeBron got 17 attempts. Luka, 24 attempps. LeBron's the only one that shot great. Luka was 9 of 24 from the field. He was 2 of 9 from three-point range. Austin Reeves didn't shoot great at all. He was 3 of 16, 2 of 6 from the field. 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Took care of the basketball, though, which is good. 11 points. I don't want to get too much on Austin Reeves. One, the dude's been spectacular. 2, the guy's played a ton of minutes. It has played a ton of basketball. Luckily, they're off till Wednesday, right, where they play the in-season tournament game. So they'll end up playing against the San Antonio Spurs in that game. So we're going to need Austin Reeves to be better. But again, bad games happen. 1, 2. This is what I'm talking about. LeBron stepped up. Austin Reeves didn't have it tonight. Boom. LeBron stepped up. But it goes into what I've talked about with LeBron. Right. I even said in the last live stream where LeBron, and I made a video about it, everything. I am not worried about LeBron scoring the basketball. My concern wasn't LeBron scoring the basketball. I even defended that, right? LeBron, he's got to get his legs under him, all that stuff. We saw him have a 25-point game. I'm not worried about him getting his legs back and him being able to do things that he did tonight, right? This game looked like LeBron. He looked spry. He looked athletic. He looked every bit the part. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, only 2 turnovers, which was great. And then on top of that, he closed down the stretch, had a huge third quarter, and then hit the big shots to seal and win the game. I love that, right? But my issue was him looking disengaged, right? That previous game, he looked out of sorts. He looked like he could care less. And that was where my problem lied. I was like, it's not the lack of offense. It's not that he doesn't really quite look like he has his lift. I'm not worried about that. We've seen that before last season when LeBron got hurt, came back, and it took him, 5 games or whatever. And that was with him playing 40 games or whatever it was leading into that. Right. So, you have the 14 games that he missed. You didn't have that with training camp and preseason and all those other. He didn't get any of that. So I figured it would take him probably 10 games or so to kind of get back. That's why I kept saying when people would ask or in live streams or in videos, right? Let's talk about it when we get 15 games in with him playing. And if he's still struggling, we're worried about that. My issue was him looking disengaged. He looked like at times like he could care less. Right? That's where my dilemma lies. But he didn't, this game, he looked engaged. He looked motivated. He was playing defense. He was getting after it. I don't know if it was a foot thing. And I even said, I don't know what it is. I don't know if something's going on behind the scenes. I don't know if he's just, if he's just off night. Maybe it's just one of those nights for him. I don't know. I didn't know what it was. right? But this is the game that it looked like. Even if he didn't score 29 points, remove the points for a second. Let's say he was awful again offensively, right? Say you had like an Austin Reeves game offensively. I would have came up here and been like, beautiful. I know LeBron didn't have a great game, but he looked engaged. He was invested. He was getting after it on the defense side. I would have defended it, right? But my concern was his lack of engagement at times and on the defensive side of things. And he had a couple plays. He had a couple moments. He had like one kind of blown by or whatever. And then, he had where he was like right there to grab the rebound. He just kind of like watched the Sixers grab the rebound. But outside of that, I thought he was engaged. Thought he did great. That's all I want. That's literally all I want. I care less about any of those, right? Like I just want him to look like he kind of gives a what in these games. So, again, maybe it was a foot thing and he got some rest and stuff. Maybe it's bothering him. Maybe it was a sciatica issue. And I even said that in the last live stream. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's something going on. I didn't care that his record got broke and all that other. I could care less about all that stuff. He made the right play, right? They won the game in that game. Right? Like all of those things. He just looked disengaged. I was worried about that. And then the Celtics game, obviously he didn't play, but talk about the last game he played, where, he made the right play, passed Rui, boom, hit the shot, all of that. And once again, big key is the Lakers continue to respond after losses. That's the key. Talked about. Now, I don't want the Lakers to keep trading losses, right? They won one, lost one, won one, lost one, right? I don't want that to keep happening, but I do think, again, Lakers continue to show, hey, we lose a game, don't worry about it. We're getting back, and we're going to rattle off a couple wins. So next up is that in-season tournament quarterfinals. I want that win, and I want OKC. I want that win. I want OKC because even if let's say we get blown out and blitzed by OKC again, I want to get as many games and especially like a playoff atmosphere. I know it's not really the playoffs, but it's ref like the playoffs, play like the playoffs, all of that. I want all of those things to kind of play itself out. And us to be able to gain as much data and information and so on and so forth as possible for a potential playoff matchup, because we may end up playing them in the playoffs. Obviously, if we can win the in-season tournament, then great. But I kind of just want the data. Obviously, we play the Suns again. It'd be nice to kind of get our revenge on the Suns. But regardless, right, great win. I thought this was a great, kind of team effort. Jake LaRavia, I thought, had some nice defensive sequences. He didn't shoot the ball particularly. He was 1 of 4 from the field, but also didn't get a ton of attempts. But just again, defensively, thought he did a really nice job. Everyone that played, I thought, had a moment here and there. Even Gabe Vincent, I thought, was fighting hard on the defensive side. Adu Thero, Jared Vanderbilt, they basically split 8 minutes, so kind of hard to properly gauge them. But again, great game. Across the board, LeBron, Rui, DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, I still thought did some really nice things. He struggled to shoot the basketball, but look, it happens, guys. What's crazy is he actually struggled to shoot free throws. He was only 60% from the free throw line. But again, not going to get on him. It was a bad game. Poor guys played a ton of minutes and a ton of games and all this stuff. He's had to carry the workload for the Lakers this year. So, not going to be critical on him. Luka Doncic, he needs to be better. I know it's his first game back, so again, don't want to be too critical on him. He had a triple-double, 31, 15, and 11, but be efficiency, right? 9 of 24. Got to do a better job of knocking down those shots. A couple of them just kind of rattled out, stuff like that. 2 and 9 from 3. Again, Reeves and Luka have to. The one thing I will criticize them for, Reeves and Luka have to do a better job of knocking down the 3 ball. Right. Part of the reason and I did an entire video breakdown. Part of the reason our 3-point shooting is as bad as it is because those two guys are taking like 70% of our 3-point attempts and they're shooting 30%. Right. So they need to pick up the 3-point shooting, but great win, great game. And let's get into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff, get through as much as I can. I'm going to try to go a full hour. Like I said, slowly getting better, slowly feeling better. Boy's still a little kind of grainy, but I'm going to try to go the full hour this time. But real quick, hit that like button for me if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button for me if you're not subscribed. And let's jump right into it. So starting us off with a couple super chats. Cosman coming out $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. He's back. He responded to you from the other game, which is beautiful. I love it, right? Clearly, he's a fan of the channel. Clearly, he watches the channel. He's like, I got you, Tyler. No, again, I like I said, I'm not worried about the scoring. I even said that in the last live stream. I could care less about him scoring the basketball right now. Obviously, at some point, I need him to get back, or we're gonna have to have a conversation. But like I even said, I've defended LeBron, defended him on several occasions, right? Like I'm not worried about that. It's just that last game in particular, he looked so disengaged. That Raptors game, it was like he could care less at times. That was my problem. It's like, again, I'm okay with bad nights. I understand he's coming back, he needs to get his legs under him, all of that. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. But I need him to look like he cares at times, right? There's just these moments where it just looks like he could care less out there. And that's where I'm like, come on, dude. Like, at least pretend, at least give the half, like, like, at least give the half-assed one. But appreciate you, cousin. 7 Day Sports coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's not true. His foot was hurting. Lakers need Herb Jones or Wiggins. AR can't separate from real athletes, and that will be a problem. Good win. Again, maybe it was. You can't say it's not true, because it was. It literally happened, right? I mean, we all saw it. I mean, we all talked about it, and everyone was like, "Yeah, I'm a big LeBron guy," but he did look checked out. Again, I don't mind I understand he's injured. He's dealing with stuff, dealing with sciatica and all that stuff. But like, if you can't play, then you can't play. But you can at least, even on a bad night, you can give the effort. Be checked in. Be invested in how many times have we seen LeBron be in the huddles, talking, communicating, getting on guys, all that stuff? He's just like, he just had this stretch where it's like he's busy chatting and girl talking with the Suns bench while we're getting smacked, and JJ's trying to call a timeout. I defended it. I said, hey, you know what? I don't want to put too much into it. I feel like it's something overblown. And then he follows that up with another game where he's just, again, looks checked out. Like, at what point do I have to go like, okay, something's going on, right? And it can't be just the foot and stuff like that, because again, it's like he's doing stuff that just is a bad look, right? Like, not the team thing. You're getting smacked. Get to your team. You're in a hard fought game, and you're not even getting back. You're not even arguing with the ref. Like, usually LeBron doesn't get back. It's because he's arguing with the ref. He wasn't even arguing with the ref. He's literally just standing there watching on a 5-on-4, just standing back, waiting. And the only reason he got back, later, was because they missed the shot and got the offensive rebound. So then he had to go back and get engaged. Otherwise, he would have just stood there and cherry picked. It's things like that. Again, like again, he might have had a foot issue and stuff like that, but what does that have to do with him not getting back in transition, or not getting back on defense, or, walking to the sideline when Austin Reeves is going the other way, or, a timeout is called and he's going in and he's fraternizing with the Suns bench, and instead of going to the thing, and JJ's trying to call him over and he's waving him off. Like, those kind of things. Those are the issues. Again, LeBron is incredible. I'm on record saying I believe he's the greatest player ever. I love LeBron. I defend LeBron as much as anybody. But we have to be honest at some things. My issue was not, again, the poor play or whatever. My issue was, again, the lack of engagement in the team. It's like, dude, at least pretend, right? Like, that's my only problem. But I do agree we need a Herb Jones or Wiggins or Miles Bridges or somebody. We need somebody out on the perimeter that can give you that athleticism, defensive versatility. But appreciate you, 7 Day Sports. Vando, you exist. Cosmin, I appreciate it. Dude, I swear to you, I had to do a double check. Like, I'm just like, a dude there was in the game and they did the subs or whatever. And I'm standing there and I'm like, or not standing there, but I'm sitting there watching the game. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, good shift. Oh, wait a minute. Is that Vando? And then I was like, oh, it is Vando. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, we got a Vando sighting. That was amazing. I was like, you're right. He does exist, right? It's like what's the M&M's commercial where like they run into each other and it's like Santa. He's like, they do exist. He does exist, right? Like, it's kind of what I felt like. I was like, oh, it's Vando. Oh my God. But anyway, I appreciate you. You're awesome. Let's get into the regular chat. So some more super chats trickle in. He is the king. He was fantastic this game. Bron. Yes, I love it. Big win and fully healthy 76ers. I mean, they were missing a couple guys, but their main key guys, yes, fully healthy. LeBron is GOAT. Yes, he was beautiful. Lakers win. AR needs some rest, man. He does. They need to give him a break. I thought LeBron is washed. People are crazy. Again, like I said, I wasn't worried about him. Wasn't worried about him scoring. I wasn't worried about the lack of lift and stuff like that. Like that'll come. Again, he didn't have the opportunity to get the reps, right? He didn't get a training camp. He didn't get preseason. He gained all those things, right? So like I said, it's going to take him time to get into it. My issue, I care less. He could have scored 9 tonight. Again, I could have cared less. I'm not worried about that. I know that will come, right? LeBron's not going to go from 6th in MVP voting and all NBA to completely washed in 3 months. Like it's not going to happen. Right. So I wasn't worried about that, but it's just like, again, it's the engagement. Like he was engaged this game. He's getting after it, playing defense, talking, communicating, getting on guys, right? Like hitting shots, picking and choosing. He wasn't settling. You're like, again, he looked like LeBron. It's like, there he is. Right. Like, and that's what I want. Again, even if he has a bad shooting night, at least look the part. But you said it was all over for LeBron. Let's see. Reeves and MB. Shooting tour dates. Yeah, thanks. Now what was that you was talking about in one of them? Again, I just went over it. Again, my issue is not, yeah, like I said in that video, again, this has nothing, just because he had a great game doesn't take away from that moment or those 2 moments, right? Again, I care about the engagement, right? Like, again, LeBron was not engaged. You can't argue, he's engaged this game. Okay, but he wasn't those others, right? Like, again, I talked about it in that moment. That was an issue. I let the first one slide. At some point, it's like, okay, we need to talk about this, right? Yeah, I know he only played 3 minutes. I told you LeBron was invested. Again, I don't doubt LeBron is invested. It's just those games, right? Like, again, I even came on here. Everyone agreed. Everyone was like, yeah, you know what? Like, it's concerning, right? It doesn't mean that that's who he is. It doesn't mean he can't fix it. It doesn't mean he can't correct it. It doesn't mean that things can't change. But those games, he was not. And it was concerning. And it's like, dude, like, I need you to at least pretend, at least give the, right? Like I said, got a couple more super chats here. Let's see. Patrick, coming out $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Tyler, love the show, man. I think we need to upgrade Smart and add at least 2 athletic wings. Reeves is nice, but he's a counter move player, and we already have Luka for that. First off, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Patrick. Secondly, so a couple things, right? The 2 things that I've said that I think the Lakers need the biggest, right? A top tier wing, and then that second tier wing. So think, Andrew Wiggins and like Keon Ellis. I have said, and I do kind of continue to lean that way. I don't hate the idea of like 2, maybe 3 kind of second tier wings, right? Like, can you get a Keon Ellis, Matisse Thybulle, and a whatever, like a Josh Green or something like that, right? Kind of give me like 3 guys that can, slot in multiple positions, kind of give you that versatility and whatnot. Marcus Smart, I don't think you need an upgrade in Marcus Smart. The problem is he's just not playing right now. I don't think, like, Marcus Smart is great for what you need, and you really need him for the playoffs. Like, I could care less if he plays the rest of the season, like, genuinely. Right? Like, you want him to play a handful of games before the season so he can get his legs under him. But like, if we got news that he was basically out between now and, say early May or whatever, right? Like, last like 10 games of the season, I'd be okay with it. Right? Obviously, I don't want that to happen. Knock on wood. I'm not hoping that happens. But Marcus Smart is a guy that, again, he impacts the game in ways. He's the Dorian Finney-Smith replacement. Talked about that in the offseason. I was like, Jake LaRavia, he may be able to do some stuff. And then we got Marcus Smart, and I was like, no, there it is. There's the Dorian Finney-Smith replacement. Obviously, he doesn't have the size and stuff, but he's the guy that's going to make the winning plays, do the dirty work, right? He's going to make the impact plays. He's going to do the things that, as the game progresses, right, you might not even notice the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, little, minor play. But in the end, all those things will add up to you winning a game or a series or things like that. So Marcus Smart is very valuable, but I don't look at him as like, if you're counting him as like your starter, then yes, I do agree. We need an upgrade. But if you're looking at him as like a bench secondary wing, then yes, he's ideal for that. I want to add to that, right? So I do think that the Lakers really need like athletic guards. Now, as far as like Austin Reeves and Luka, yes, Reeves is, we said it even last year, like Reeves is very Luka-light, right? He's Luka. He's very similar. They have very similar play styles, which is why it was concerning. Like, could these 2 coexist? So far, I really like the dynamic. They have been playing well. I don't mind those 2 in your backcourt, but you have to have the right wing depth. question is, and the problem is with the team that we currently have, is that something that you can get away with, right? Like, obviously, look, LeBron is LeBron, but he can only be so relentless. He has to pace himself. He can't like you need like those energized, like you need like a Keon Ellis and Alex Caruso, a Lou Dort. Like you need those guys around Luka and us where they're just relentless on the defensive end. They're hitting the open shots, doing all those things. They have the athleticism. They're applying the pressure, doing all those things. And then DeAndre Ayton's buying in on the defense side, blocking shots, doing all that. And then Austin Reeves and Luka are the ones that are like putting it together, right? That's how I really think that it could work. Now, look, LeBron, again, you might just have enough offense and firepower and serviceable enough defensively, especially if you can get that other wing to where you could still win a championship this year, right? But you're just so much more reliant with the team the way that it's built right now. You're so reliant on getting just enough stops while being an elite offense, right? Like just be slightly above average defensively, but because your offense is so great, right? Like Denver a couple years ago, right? When they won the championship, they were like 15th in defense in the regular season. They were second to last in the playoffs, but they were so good offensively, no one stood a chance. Like the closest anyone came to beating them was the Phoenix Suns. And it took Devin Booker having a historic playoff run just to get 2 wins. They didn't even come close to beating them. Devin Booker, no one had ever done, nor ever has done what Devin Booker did in that playoff series, which is he shot like 71%. I think it was almost 72% from the floor. And they still got ran through. So if you're the Lakers, you're kind of looking at that. You're hoping like this year, obviously trade, stuff like that could change things. But right now, as constructed, you're looking to just be so elite offensively. Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, unguardable. Teams aren't going to be able to do it. The offense will be better in the playoffs because you're running more half-court action, right? Like the game slows down, right? Things like that. So Lakers offense, in theory, should be better because they're more of a half-court offense. And you're just picking teams apart, and you're so elite offensively, teams can't keep up. That's the idea. But obviously, again, hopefully things change with some trades. CK coming in hot with $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hey guys, I'm back. Who says I'm not clutch? Yes. Hey, I appreciate your apology for the last game. But yes, this was a great game by him. Again, he hit some shots, was huge down the stretch, had some really nice moments. I loved what we saw from him. That third quarter was ridiculous. Again, it's just all I'm asking is just for him to be engaged. Just stay engaged. That's all I want. All right, let's get back to the regular chat until some more super chats trickle in. I got that one. The beauty of this is that if Luka or AR have a bad night, LeBron could take over for them, just like he did for AR tonight. Yes, exactly. And that's always been the idea, right? That's something that we've talked about, right? And that's what I want LeBron to do. During the offseason when he was hurt and they made the announcement, and then when he was starting to creep back, I kept saying, let Luka and Austin Reeves be the workhorses. Let them handle it. Most nights they're going to be able to, right? But when LeBron sees, I talked about this, what was the game? One of the games. I don't remember which game, where I was like, hey, great win, but like, I want to see LeBron be more aggressive in spots. It was one of the games we lost. Here, let me pull it up. But point is I was like, I thought that game was salvageable, and I want to see LeBron like, hey, we don't like Luka's not hitting shots, Reeves isn't hitting shots, like, you're having your struggles, whatever. Kind of it was I think it was the Suns game. That's what it was. That game where it was like it was tight and it was close, and then Phoenix kind of went on a run. Like that was a moment where I was like, I really like that would have been a great moment for LeBron to kind of inject himself, right? Like, hey, let me go out there, because they went on that run, and then that was it. Like the game was over, right? Where I felt like, hey, I want to see LeBron kind of be more aggressive in spots when need be, right? LeBron's smart enough to know when that is. And, and then also, of course, Reeves has an off night, LeBron can step up. Luka has an off night, LeBron can step up. That's the beauty of it, right? But for the most part, I want LeBron to kind of continue to play within the schemes, play within the system, right? I had said it to start the stream. I thought JJ, and I think JJ deserves credit, did a really good job of keeping all three in the action. Right. He had all three kind of playing off each other. It wasn't a lot of them just kind of standing around at times, at moments and stuff like that. But like for the most part, like you saw a lot of like, two-man game with Luka and LeBron and two-man game with Austin Reeves and LeBron, right? Like that's what I want to keep seeing. Keep having them, play off of each other. Like you have all three of them utilize. And then let LeBron kind of, again, like pick and choose his spots. Let's see. People forget without LeBron, Lakers would be the Brooklyn Nets of the NBA the last 8 seasons. I mean, outside of this season, like LeBron carried a lot, right? The past few years. I mean, I talked about it numerous times. How many times did we see LeBron drop 30 just for us to have a chance to win? Not even necessarily win the game, just for us to have a chance. Like I said, this year, we're not better without LeBron, but I do think we're a playoff team without LeBron. LeBron's the piece that I believe can put us over the top, right? Lakers are, one of the 5 best teams in basketball, whatever. LeBron comes in, he gets to the level that we need LeBron, and LeBron's healthy come playoff time, because that's the key. The last few playoffs, LeBron's been hurt, and a lot of LeBron being hurt is because of how much he's had to carry during the regular season. So the hope is that, again, it's why I don't want LeBron to carry so much during the regular season. Let Reeves, let Luka handle their business, do their thing. And then, LeBron can pick his spots. He's healthy come playoff time, and then we can really kind of make that move. So I think Lakers are a playoff team. I think they're, one of the 4 best teams in the West. And then LeBron's the piece that puts you over the top, that makes you, one of the best, if not the best teams in basketball. LeBron still, I guess, 29, 12 in the fourth. He's been playing his part, getting back in game shape. Yeah, again, I'm not worried about the scoring. That I know is going to come, and he'll kind of continue to bounce back and find his spots. Luka triple double, and Bron goes off in the fourth. Love to see it. Yes, agreed. We got 3 guys that can carry on a night. Yes, and that's the key, right? Like you have 3 guys, but you don't have just 3 guys that can score the ball and carry. You have 3 guys that can score the basketball as well as make the plays, right? Like that's the thing. Like that's what has the potential to make the Lakers so dangerous, especially come playoff time. You got 3 guys that have the IQ to just pick teams apart, right? Like we've had games where LeBron just completely picked, like that Utah game where like, dude, he went on a 12-0 run by himself and he didn't score the basketball once. Right? He just literally just made plays and just made reads. So y'all yelling trade Bron, right? Again, no one's untradeable, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Trade idea: Pacers get Austin Reeves, Rui Dalton, and a first-round pick for Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, and Ben Shepherd. I would love Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, and Ben Shepherd, but I just don't think you trade Austin Reeves for those guys, right? Like, again, Austin Reeves, like, I don't think, no one is untradeable, right? Austin Reeves isn't untradeable, right? LeBron, like, if tomorrow the Denver Nuggets bumped their head and we're like, hey, we'll trade you Jokic for LeBron, are you not doing that? Like, yeah, you are, right? Like, so again, no one's untradeable. It just depends on what the trade is. And, people have their different standards or opinions or whatever, right? Like, but I think if you're going to trade Austin Reeves, it has to be something that either long-term, it's like, man, you can't say no to this, or short-term, it's like, this might make us the best team in basketball. Like, if tomorrow you could trade him for like a Giannis or something like that, right? Like something along those lines where it's like, man, like you almost have to do it, right? Like, again, I like Mathurin. I think he still has a lot of potential. Obi Toppin would be great with this team. Andrew Nembhard is another kind of ideal fit next to Luka Doncic. And then, you get more depth, you get more versatility, but I don't like, I don't think you properly maximize Austin Reeves in that trade, right? Like, honestly, and you're giving up a first too. Like Austin Reeves' trade value is insane right now, right? Like so I have a video already recorded. I'm going to post it tomorrow, but they did the executive survey or whatever. Like the unanimous consensus is that the Lakers have the best package to land Giannis, and it's because of Austin Reeves. And it's not crazy. Like the way Austin Reeves is playing this year, he is like the guy's playing like it at an MVP level, right? You trade an MVP for like, basically 3 bench guys and like a starter, like that. I don't think that that's something. I just don't think that that would justify trading Reeves. Is what I'm getting at. Even though Reeves struggled, he was still drawing the defense attention, but he was creating plays with LeBron. A 2-man game, which also drew opportunities for Ayton. Yes, exactly. I mean, Austin Reeves is done a much better job this year of, even in the bad games, right, impacting the game in other ways. And that's the key, right? I talk about all the time, right? Like, what do you do when your offense isn't flowing, right? When you're having a bad off night, and Austin Reeves, we've seen be able to pick teams apart with just his playmaking, rebound the basketball, draw the attention, make the right read, right? Like, those are the kind of things that you want to continue to see. Bro, Gabe's trade value is so low, man. I think teams would take a chance on Dalton still, though. Dalton, I think teams would take a chance on just because he's still young enough. And I think a lot of people probably are looking at it the same way we are, where it's like he kind of lost his way because of the trade. And there's always teams that think that they can do better and all that stuff. Gabe Vincent, right? Like the problem with Gabe Vincent, Gabe Vincent could average 18 a game and his trade value is not going to change. Right? Because he's an undersized guard who, yes, has playoff experience. Like, the only teams that would like see Gabe's value would be like a team that needs a point guard and particularly come playoff time. Like a team like Houston, I could see being like, man, he'd make a lot of sense for like our bench depth and a guy that can initiate the offense, get the ball to KD, stuff like that. Right? Like, just using him as an example. Right? Outside of that, outside of like a couple teams that might just value him as like a veteran piece who, come playoff time can play on ball, kind of be a rotation guy. Most teams are just valuing him for his contract, his expiring contract. I'd say, man, Braun haters was talking crazy. We kept saying, give him more time, get back into game shape. Yeah, exactly. Again, it's going to take time. Right? Like, even next game, I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron has like, a semi-pedestrian game again, right? I'd love if this is kind of the first game that, really launches it. But again, I'm not worried about it. Like, LeBron will be fine. Right? Like, I'm not worried about LeBron drastically falling off of a cliff in 3 months. It's just, again, like I said, I just want him to stay engaged, stay invested. Where's the LeBron watch comments now? Let's go. Great bounce back win. Now back home. Go Lakers, yes. And it's the in-season tournament game. So LeBron just needs to get back in game shape. People expect him to average 25, 8, and 8, and Luka and AR and right after an injury. Yeah, I don't expect him to average 28 and 8. Like I said, I think he'll be in that like 18 to 23 range this season because, one, he doesn't have to worry about like all NBA and MVPs and stuff like that. And I think if he does continue to play in that third kind of, third option role, never really going to be the third option, but you get the point, right? Like if he continues to play and operate in the role in which he's playing and operating in, then I think you're going to have, I don't necessarily think LeBron's going to average 25, 8, and 8. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying, maybe he does, but I expect him to kind of, again, let Luka, let Reeves, let those two kind of be them. And then again, tonight, Austin Reeves struggling, didn't quite have it tonight. Hey, don't worry about it. I got you, right? Kept using the Hulk reference, right? We need Bruce Banner on most nights. 90% of the games we play, we need Bruce Banner. We need the intelligence, the IQ, the vision, right? Concocting and drawing up schemes and plans, right? Like, and then every once in a while, it's like, hey, big guy, sun's getting real low, right? Like, and wake up the Hulk, and we need him to come and save us on these nights, right? And tonight was one of those nights. Baby LeBron is back. This team looks unstoppable. Did anyone else notice how Ayton was defensive? Ayton's been fantastic defensive. I've talked about it a lot. I even made videos over on the Lakers Show channel about Ayton's defense. Dude, the guy's been great defensively. Like, people are really sleeping on him defensively. Like, no one really talks about his defense, which I think is interesting. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate you. How are you? I think it was a foot thing, Tyler. LeBron loves basketball. Again, I like I said, in the moment, I don't know what it could have been a million things. I don't know. Maybe he's just having a bad day, right? Maybe didn't get enough sleep. I don't know. It was worth talking about, right? Because it was like, it wasn't like just like a weird one-off thing. It was just like, man, like something's going on, So again, maybe it was a foot thing. Maybe it could have been a lot of things, but it's just, and I'm not, again, for those that maybe are just popping in that are like, it wasn't the bad play, the scoring. Again, it was just him looking disengaged. Vando finally got some playtime. Yeah, whopping 3 minutes. Fake Laker fans and LeBron haters are pretty quiet always, right? When LeBron steps up, again, LeBron's not gonna randomly fall off a cliff after 3 months, right? Like, it's crazy. I told you LeBron was gonna go off this game. Good call. Hey man, what are you saying about Bron? You're overthinking, man. He's fine. I absolutely was not overthinking. It literally happened. Like, it wasn't a thought. It literally happened, right? Like, we all watched it happen, right? It wasn't like I was like, like reading into something. Like, maybe, like LeBron will do like the cryptid things. It wasn't like I was reading into something that we all watched the game. We all watched it. We all watched what he did. We all saw the disengagement. Like, it wasn't an overthinking. It was, dude, what was that? Right? Like, again, I can only call out in the moment. I don't know what he's going to do tomorrow. I don't know what he's going to do in the in-season tournament game against Spurs. I don't know anything. But you had one game, and I gave it a pass, and I said, I think we're all, I think it's just a LeBron moment. And then he did it again, just worse. And I was like, all right, like, we got to talk about it. It's not an overthinking. It's literally, he did it. Like, give LeBron time to get back in shape. Yeah, exactly. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about the scoring. I'm not worried about the production, right? Just came back, give it time. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, people forget LeBron last year, after playing an entire training camp preseason, or had all offseason to work out, an entire training camp to work out, an entire preseason, 40, whatever it was, 42 games or whatever, before he got hurt last year, then missed that, what was it, like a month or 3 weeks or whatever, then came back, and it took him like 5 or 6 games to get back into like game readiness, right? And then you look at this season, it's like all the work he put in the offseason all got null and void because he couldn't play for weeks. So then there goes all of that. And then he misses all the training camp, all the preseason, and the first 14 games. Like, he's not going to just magically, even at 25-year-old LeBron would probably take time to get back. Anybody would. Let's see. Reeves must have thought it was the playoffs. Get the best we can from, again, I can't get like, again, I'm the first one to say like, hey, Reeves is not cutting it or whatever. Like, look, many people label me a Reeves hater, which I don't understand, but nonetheless, a lot of people do. I can't, like, come on, guys have bad games, right? Like, we can't, like, there's one bad dude, the guy's been carrying like nobody's business, right? Like, the guy's playing averaging 40 minutes a night. Like, again, I have no problems being like Oscar. Again, I've said I still don't think he's untradeable, nothing, but like, cut the guy some slack. Like, even like LeBron, Luka's had bad nights. LeBron's had bad, like, guys have bad nights, right? The guy's been working his tail off. Trade Reeves, JK. 27 years old, no excuse. There absolutely is. Again, there's a reason guys keep getting calf injuries and all this. Again, this isn't the 80s NBA. Pace is different. The way you plant and move and the just everything, like the type of actions, the rules, everything. Like, this is a different league. There's a reason people don't play like that anymore. Let's see. I just want to see Vando and Thero attacking those guys. Not in and out, not out. Those guys deserve some playing time. Yeah, I want to see them kind of get opportunities together, right? Like, let's see what they can do outside of like a handful, 5 minutes. Go, James. Let's go out, Chris. When GOAT gets 100%, it'll be over yet. 23 years in the league. Yep. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. The guy just keeps doing it. People are going to tell you they shouldn't because of their offense. I want to see defense. I get that. Like I said, you got to at least be serviceable. You got to at least be, everyone's do a bad game, but AR looked terrible. Yeah, he didn't look great this game. But like I said, well, I can't get too much on him. I'm not worried about the Suns. When does Smart return? Right now he's day-to-day. JJ recently spoke about it. Doesn't have an exact return date, but he's getting close. What happened to Dalton Connect? 4 DMPs, AR-15 playing 40 minutes is a no-no. AR-15 playing 40 minutes is tough. Dalton Connect, 4 DMPs, didn't he play the last 3 games? I don't think he got 4D. I don't think he got maybe 4 DMPs throughout the season, but I mean, he was playing over Vando and stuff the last few games. I mean, last game they emptied the bench and Connect was out there. Let's see what's next. Vando was getting out there. Is getting out of here. He can't shoot. Probably. I mean, I don't see how you don't trade him. You know what I mean? Like, you almost have to at this point. If we had Vando and Thero for the Suns game, I would be more confident. I really think like those are games that absolutely at least Vando should have played and got some minutes. So let's take 2 bad games from LeBron because he is 40, because Luka and AR are the saviors. Let's not have revisionist history. This isn't about LeBron. It's how people switch up. Oh, no, I get that. I mean, look, people, I talk about all the time, the pendulum swing, right? You know, people will live day to day, game by game, right? Like, again, Austin Reeves had 1 bad game, and the guy's been MVP level all season, and people are like, dude's trash. Like, see, I told you. It's like, come on. Like, you know, again, I understand criticism. I understand, like, again, I've criticized LeBron. I criticized Anthony Davis when he's here. I've criticized Luka. Made an entire video talking about Luka needs to be better in these areas and all that stuff. Again, no one is off limits from criticism, right? Like, you play great, you get praised. You play poorly, we got to talk about it, right? Like, but again, there's things that are context. And LeBron in particular, I've even said, like, I'm not as critical as I was, you know, a couple years ago, because he is in year 23. He is year 41, right? There are things like context is important, right? And I think a lot of people ignore context and I think a lot of, you know, you get a lot of people that just want to say what, you know, they're either wearing, you know, emotional in the moment, or they're just, you know, talking just to talk, or you get the haters and the people that they're just waiting for that moment to be like, ha, see, look, trash. Like, relax, 1 game. Never worry about Braun. He wouldn't even do that to himself. Yeah. Let's see. Think the Lakers can top a Warriors offer in a hypothetical Herb Jones trade. They're interested in him too. So I've talked about that very thing in several of the Herb Jones trades. I don't think so. Not unless they're willing to add a do Thero. I even did a video about that, like how far are the Lakers willing to go? How far are like you willing to go to land somebody like a Herb Jones? I mean, again, like Rui Hachimura in a first for Herb Jones doesn't make as much sense as a Jonathan Kuminga in a first for Herb Jones, right? Because Jonathan Kuminga is younger, even if Rui's better, sure, but Jonathan Kuminga is younger, athletic, right? He's somebody that is you know, a bit of a project, but he's young enough to have been a draft pick for them this year, right? Like those kind of things. So I don't think, like, if the Warriors really want him, I just don't think the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers will be willing to give up what it takes to get Herb Jones, right? I never say never. Who knows? But like, I think it would take something like in a do Thero, like, hey, here's a young wing that you can grow, develop, and could potentially be even better than Herb Jones at some point, and we get Herb Jones type thing, right? Like, but that's the problem. Would the Lakers do that? You know, if you're trying to win right now, if you're trying to win like this season, then yes, you do that. Right? If Rob Blink is looking at, I love a Dude Thero. I think that guy's going to be a stud. The kid's unbelievable. But you got Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. You need to make a decision, right? So if you're the Lakers and you're Rob, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what any of us think. It matters what do the Lakers think and what do the Lakers want. Because Herb Jones is going to help you more now. He's going to help you more, likely more next year, and maybe even the year after. So at bare minimum, you're probably looking at 3 years of Herb Jones being better and more impactful and giving you the best chance to win a championship over in a do Thero. So would the Lakers be willing to do that? It's one of the problems that the Lakers, you know, it's why like people are like, man, Lakers never develop guys. Yeah, because that guy comes along and Lakers go, here's the young guy, and get the guy that helps you now. So again, these are all things that the Lakers are going to have to contemplate, right? Like, you know, again, if you're serious about trying to win this season, then Herb Jones makes more sense. So you do what you have to do to go get Herb Jones. And also, like, I wouldn't trade in a do Thero for like an Andrew Wiggins or something like that, because it's just a short-term answer, right? At least Herb Jones, you can justify because it's like, hey, that could be our starting 3 for the next, 6 years, right? Where, yes, Adu Thero, he would be the same and even beyond, but it's like, you don't know what's going to happen in 6 years, right? Like, you get the guy that's already proven. You get the guy that you already know. Adu Thero could end up being, prime Paul George, or he could end up being, a Jared Vanderbilt, right? Like, who knows? So, again, that's something that the Lakers are going to have to figure out. Hot take: Giannis for Austin plus more makes this team worse. We've seen with Dame that he doesn't play well with the ball dominant players. So, a couple things about that, right? Damian Lillard is a very specific player that wasn't in his prime. Like, what does a prime Dame look like? Right? Like, also, Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard's was more of a 2 guard, a scoring guard, right? He was more of a guy, he can make the occasional play. Like Luka, at least on paper, right? Luka and Austin and Luka and Giannis, there we go, are a match made in heaven, right? Because Giannis, in the style in which he plays, best suits what Luka likes to do when he has the basketball. Secondly, right, all the things that Giannis is great at, particularly the defense side of things, it would help mask the limitations of Luka, right? Giannis also would be able to play more off of Luka, where it's harder to play off of Dame. Dame's best when he's in attack mode, being aggressive, looking to score the basketball and shooting the lights out, right? And you got Dame at a point in time where, I wouldn't say washed, but he was not Dame, right? He was a shell of himself. And so the fit wasn't great. I mean, I talked about it. Like, people were like, dude, give him the championship now. And I was like, wait, I don't know if I like it, right? Like, he's an undersized guard that has defensive, inabilities, which, you could argue Luka has defensive inabilities, but he's better and bigger and all those other things than Dame is. And Luka is just more, he does more, right? Like, where Dame, even prime Dame, right? One of the best 3-point shooters ever, right? You want him being aggressive, looking for a shot, shooting 15 threes a game, right? Like, that's what you're looking for him to do. I just don't like the fit. I didn't think was very good, right? Like, but to be fair, I do think there are questions of, can Giannis play alongside another superstar? He's never done it, right? Damian Lillard, I wouldn't say was a superstar, like by playing standards, by name standards, yes, but playing standards, I don't think he was a superstar when he went with Giannis. And then before that, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton weren't superstars, right? So he's never had that kind of guy who is anywhere close to as good as him, if not, better on many nights, right? Like, so again, like, there definitely are question marks. Like, you're not wrong about that. But I think, and I said this in my last video, like, if you're the Lakers and you can turn Austin Reeves into Giannis, you have to. Even if Austin Reeves could go on to Milwaukee and lead them to 5 championships, and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Luka Doncic could be a total disaster, and it's an epic failure, and you're trading Giannis, you still made the right call. Like, hindsight is always 20/20. It's easy to go like, oh, but it would be malpractice for a GM to turn down Giannis. You're talking about a guy that might be top 20 all time, top 15 all time, right? Like, you're talking about a guy that is like unbelievable. He gives you everything Austin Reeves does, and also can be the best defensive player on the basketball court, right? Like it just, it'd be insanity if you didn't make that trade. Even if you're right, let's say it's an app that makes you worse, and it is a total disaster. And Austin Reeves hey, move over LeBron, move over Jordan, right? Austin Reeves is the GOAT. You still made the right decision at the time, right? Because again, you're talking about a top 2-3 player in all of basketball that you're trading for to pair with your other top 3 to 4 player in all of basketball. I'm going to need to see some X's and O's on that whiteboard. I know, right? I should just like draw play designs up. I'm working on my wall, and then it's all going to pivot. I'll be over there pointing at that wall soon. I did, by the way, if you haven't yet, go check out my little unboxing video. I did my first unboxing video. for Lakers stuff. I had here. I'll give him another shout out. Got some awesome canvases. Look at this. See, did a whole video actually going over it from Drip Show. Shout out to Drip Show. They were very kind. I said they're a fan of the channel. You see them in the live streams all the time. They're in these live streams all the time. And they were kind enough to, because I said I'm working on my little wall here. They were kind enough to send me some canvases for my wall. And yeah. And then got the LeBron one, the King James one, which is awesome. All right. See, look at that. And then the guy that saved today. But yeah, no, they were very, very kind to send me that. And I did a whole unboxing video of those, which again, shout out to Drip Show for sending those. Also, just for YouTube's sake, not a sponsorship or ad or anything like that. Like I said, they're just fan of the channel and were kind enough to send me some canvases. So not a brand deal or a sponsorship or anything like that. Literally just somebody that was very kind and accommodating to help me get this wall finished. So just got to say that for YouTube, because YouTube pay promotions and all that stuff. But yeah, shout out to Drip Show. Marcus just can't stay on the court. When he was playing, he was balling. Yeah, that's been the big problem. But like I said, as long as he's healthy come playoff time, that's all I care about. Giannis is not a Laker type of player. We not getting him. Mark my words. I think it's very unlikely we get him. Especially if he gets traded this season, like in the season. I don't think we get him. But in the offseason, I do think it's much more possible. But the problem is, I don't think Austin Reeves is going to want to go to Milwaukee. And the problem is, like, we know Austin Reeves wants to be a Laker. He wants to win championships with the Lakers. If you try to trade him, now you run the risk of losing him. And so if you don't get Giannis, you could be in big trouble because now you got to trade him for less. And now teams know. And plus, he could just leave you. Right? It's just, it's a tough spot to be in if you're the Lakers. Rui's shooting is so clutch right now. I mean, look, Rui's shooting the lights out this season, which is great. The problem is like, again, he can't defend anybody. That's the problem. Like I said, if we can get a legit 3-and-D wing and keep Rui, I'm all for it, right? But I think you're going to have to trade Rui in order to get somebody like that. Who even cares if we get him? We need wing defenders. Give us a great barrier thief. Yeah, honestly, I think I've talked about it. Like, I actually want to break this down more. So I did a video earlier today talking about Herb Jones and Trey Murphy both being available, or at least the Pelicans are listening to offers. I think there's a bigger argument, and hope that those two don't get traded. You still need to go get a wing, and you still need to go get like a secondary wing. But I think there's a bigger argument to, if Herb Jones and Trey Murphy don't get traded in the offseason when you have 3 firsts and everything like that, just go trade for them. Like what you would trade to go get Giannis, just go get those two. And you probably could keep Austin Reeves too, because you'd have a bunch of firsts and a bunch of picks and all kinds of stuff to where you get things done. All right, I'm going to do a handful of more questions and skate on out of here. Like I said, I don't want to go too long. I know when it's usually, pumping like this, I go longer, but like I said, I'm just getting better and I trying to slowly build. I'm like Braun right now, just trying to slowly work my way back in a peak performance. I went 30 minutes, then I went 40 minutes. Now I'm going an hour, and then we'll get back to like, hey, let's just go until I get tired. Especially these earlier streams. Problem is like the ones that are like, it's like 1 a.m. where I'm at. Only trade Rui for a real defender. If not smart Vandal hustle for the new guy, then need to keep Rui. Yeah. If it were up to me, Braun would be the number 1 option. Give him how old he is. I'm not scared. The problem is that he just can't do that anymore. And it's too much to ask of him, right? That's why he kept asking. Like, how many times the last few years have we kept hearing LeBron go, Anthony Davis is the guy. Give the ball to Anthony Davis, right? Like, this isn't my team. It's Anthony Davis' team, right? Like, because again, he's 40. I understand. Look, LeBron at any point can still be the number 1 option. The problem is like, you're going to either wear him down or he's going to get hurt, right? The last few playoffs, he's been hurt because of how much he's had to carry during the regular season. I get it, but he can't do it anymore, right? As superhuman and as insane as he is, he can't do it anymore, right? As much as we would love him to. Luka should be doing the most ball handling because he's young, but we got to run plays, more LeBron screens, more Austin screening, more Luka screen. Yes, which I thought they did a better job this game. It wasn't like, oh my God, that's it. But like, I thought they did a much better job of kind of, utilizing all three guys. 8 needs to be fed the ball in the short range. Agree. And they need to do a better job of hitting him sooner. A lot of times he rolls and he's either got the guy pinned or sometimes he's like open, right? And they just don't hit him on time. And then they try to force it down or something like that. And it's like, you need to worry about the Warriors making the playoffs. Let's see. Nembhard, Toppin, and Mathurin are tough. They don't get me wrong, they are great players. I just think with how good Austin Reeves has been and the level and the return that you could probably get for Austin Reeves right now, or in the offseason, assuming he continues to play that way, I think it'd be hard to. I don't think that that's good enough to justify it. Is my point. Pacers might have a fire sale. We can get some of the pieces. That's what I'm hoping, genuinely. So I have like a list of like videos. Like every time I think of an idea, I like make a list of it because I post like 10 videos a day. One of the videos I want to make is about that very thing. Pacers hopefully having a fire sale. Remember that, Tyler. I assure you, the Lakers are not scared of the Warriors. What happened the last time the Lakers and Warriors met in the playoffs? Honestly, Trey Murphy and Herb Jones for Reeves and salary is honestly worth considering. If Pelicans are willing to add picks, then I'd be kind of hard to say no. I'm not gonna lie. I've said this. I've said this exact thing before. If you can turn Austin Reeves and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, you do it, right? Because you wouldn't have to give up. You wouldn't have to give up, especially with as good as Austin Reeves is right now. You wouldn't have to give up the assets that would be necessary in order to do so, right? Like for other trades. So you'd still have the assets to go get other pieces, players, and things, right? So like you could go get like a Keon Ellis or something like that still. And imagine Luka Doncic, Keon Ellis, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and DeAndre Ayton for the next like however many years. You have the athleticism, the defense, the versatility. Oh, and by the way, you have a Dude Thero. Let's say a Dude Thero becomes that guy, right? Well, you could just move Herb Jones to the 2 and then play Thero at the 3 and Murphy at the 4. Now you have a team full of 6'7" athletic, versatile guys, and also, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, you might be the best team in all of basketball at that point. Like genuinely. You solve all your problems. You got 2 athletic, versatile wings. Trey Murphy's looking like he could be a star, right? Like that dude's absolutely killing it. Imagine him playing off of Luke and LeBron and stuff like that. Because the problem is you want somebody that can self-create next to Luka Doncic, right? Well, Trey Murphy has shown the ability to do that. So, I mean, Trey Murphy could be that guy that go get you, 20 plus a night. I mean, he's averaging 22 plus a night right now. He could be the guy that go get you 25. And then you have the defense and athleticism and shooting and stuff like that. You get the depth and all that stuff. Plus, Herb Jones and Trey Murphy are locked up for the next 4 years or whatever. And both are like the price of Austin Reeves. So, like, literally, you could add depth, everything. Like, it'd be really hard to say no to that. Really hard to say no to that. Because, I mean, you're talking, like, they're 2 of, like, the better in wings in this league. 2010 and 5 would be a great stat this year. Yeah, absolutely. That cherry Pepsi, Tyler, be hitting, especially when it coming out. Oh, Fred, like ice cold, Dr. Pepper, cherry Pepsi, stuff like that. It'd be, ooh, let me tell you. Trader deal, Lakers get Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, and Jabari Smith Jr. For all series free Hachimura. And I would trade whatever you had to for Amin Thompson. Like, even if they didn't include Tari Eason and Jabari Smith, I would trade everything for Amin Thompson. The problem is I don't think that they would trade Amin Thompson. Man, this dude loves to cry and complain. People are not perfect. Be freaking patient. What are you talking about? Literally, it's literally all I've been preaching. Like, are you talking to me? Are you talking to somebody in the chat? Because if you're talking about me, I don't know. I don't know if you're listening. Trade idea: Lakers get him in Thompson, Tyrese, and Jabari Smith Jr. for Austin Reeves. I would do that in a heartbeat, 1,000%. With like, I wouldn't even question it. I just don't think the Rockets would do it. Tyler, I think your criticism on LeBron was justified. I'm glad he stepped up. Yeah, I mean, again, my criticism wasn't his poor offense, right? My criticism was just him looking checked out. That was my concern. Thanks for the live. Good night, chat. Good night, Tyler. Peace. Well, thank you, Pod. Yeah, I'm about to skate out of here myself. I really appreciate you. LeBron's body versus Toronto and his body now are way different. Adjust to these NBA athletes is why he may seem disengaged. It's mental rust and a lot on the physical side. Possibly. Again, like I said, I have no issues with the lack of offense, right? Like, again, guys have bad offense. Guys have bad nights. I'm okay with that. Like, I can live with all that stuff. It's just it's again the like you said, the disengagement, whatever that is. Right? Which, to his credit, he corrected it. I love that, right? But it was concerning after that. I was just like, dude, like what is happening right now? I don't think people be understanding Tyler. He obviously said in previous videos that he thinks something's going on with LeBron. I'm glad I watched the videos all the way through before I say something. Yeah, I appreciate it. Most people don't. That's the problem. Most people will just read the headline or like hear me go, LeBron struggling, and they go, oh my God, like what are you talking about? Like, listen. Most people don't take the time to actually listen before they just assume that they know what I'm talking about. They just listen to the thing that triggers them, and then that's it. Now they're triggered. Tyler confirmed Reeves hater. Yeah, clearly, Blanca. Clearly. Yeah, I know. Speaking of Drip Show, there you go. Yeah, it was just talking about you, buddy. Great win tonight. Yes, absolutely. Thanks for the love and support, Tyler. Thank you. Seriously, again. I know we've been emailing, but again, thank you so much. Seriously, canvases are beautiful. I absolutely love them. People are already talking about them. People already love them. And yeah, like I said, somebody mentioned it. If I can mention it, like I said, I appreciate it. Seriously, you are awesome. And they're gonna look great here. I just got, like I said, I got to measure it all out and then like piece it together and figure out my arrangement here. Because it might look bigger on camera, but it's a tiny little office, not very big. That poster is cold. Yeah, 1,000%. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, please take a quick second if you haven't yet. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Do you think Lakers can get Herb Jones and keep Rui? And how do you do it? So if I'm being honest, I don't. My problem is I just think that there's other teams that can put together better packages for Herb Jones, Warriors being one of them, right? For what the Pelicans would want. And I don't think the Lakers would be willing to give up what is needed to give up in order to land him. So if I'm being honest, I don't. Could you get Herb Jones and keep Rui? Absolutely. I mean, Herb Jones is only making like $14 million. So, I mean, you could do Gabe Vincent and Dalton Connect for Herb Jones, give up a first and whatever else. Problem is, I don't think that they want that. They're probably going to want somebody like in a Adu Thero. So, like, you'd probably have to do like a Gabe Vincent, a Adu Thero, and a first for a Herb Jones. And I just don't think the Lakers are going to want to give up a Adu Thero, personally. But yeah, I mean, you could get Herb Jones and keep Rui Hachimura. Problem is Rui willing to come off the bench? Still need a perimeter defender and better rebounder, stopper, offensive rebounds. Yes. Let's see. I have not heard the Nuggets talk about any trades, and they are third in the West. The Lakers are second, and we are talking trades. Well, I can't really speak for the Nuggets because I'm not a Nugget channel, and I don't really follow any Nuggets channels to know and identify either way. A couple things: Nuggets don't have a ton of assets to make a bunch of moves, and they're very like they've never really had depth in pieces that like make a ton of sense. Two, Nuggets have been every year. I mean, even right now, most people would probably take the Nuggets over the Lakers, right? Like that's the thing. So, I mean, you're talking about a team that you can make an argument for. Even as a Laker fan, I think you can make a genuine argument for Denver's better than the Lakers. And Denver went and kind of fixed a lot of their depth issues and solved a lot of their problems and got some defenders and two-way wings and kind of consolidated things. I mean, they made a trade this offseason, right? Literally, they made a trade for Cam Johnson, right? And, set Michael Porter Jr. and stuff like that, right? Lakers didn't in the offseason. So, yeah, like you might be thought like, hey, there hasn't been a lot of talk about the Nuggets making a trade. They already did, right? Like, and that trade not only saved the money, but it also opened up the ability to sign Bruce Brown and why am I blanking? Tim Hardaway Jr. and guys like that, right? And Valanciunas and stuff, right? So again, Nuggets already made the trade. They made the trade in the offseason. Just what I thought the old man should retire. He found about in the youth. That's great. I love that. Noam Thompson is so good. He blocked AD's ball. Like he's so I don't think that they would ever give him up personally. But anyway, I'm just getting out of here. Got to the end of the chat, which is great. I'm actually glad I was able to do that. So I appreciate you guys. Next game is the in-season tournament game. So this is going to be huge. It's going to be important. We got to get this W. But everyone that hung out with me, seriously, I really appreciate all of you. Anyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. All you people are absolutely beautiful. And I will see you all, what is it, Wednesday, right? Maybe I'll get a live stream before then, but